pag-asa pinakamalakas na bagyo hindi lang sa Pilipinas kundi sa buong mundo ngayong taon, ang Super Typhoon Yolanda. Habang papalapit ang bagyo sa kalupaan, tinataya namang lalo pang lalakas ang hangin at ang pag-ulan.
55 degrees Celsius. Ganyan po katindi ang damang init sa Giwan sa Eastern Samar ngayong araw at nitong linggo. Panahong binabaybay pa ng bagyong Agon ang ating bansa. Nagkabagyo na pero bakit kaya ganito pa rin kalala ang alinsangan?
The term climate change describes long-term changes in temperature, precipitation patterns, and other weather factors that are mostly brought about by human activity, such as deforestation and the combustion of fossil fuels. It has far-reaching effects on the ecosystem, economy, and human communities all across the planet. Situated in the Pacific Ocean's typhoon belt and consisting of 7,641 islands, the Philippines is particularly susceptible to the consequences of global warming. Its geographical location makes tropical cyclones more frequent, and the impact of extreme weather and rising sea levels is amplified due to its archipelagic nature. We need to look at the past typhoon activity data in order to comprehend the seriousness of the climate disaster that the Philippines is currently confronting. Typhoons that affect the nation have been more frequent and stronger throughout time, as evidenced by these threats. Typhoon Haiyan, or what we call Yolanda, in 2013, and Rolly, or also known as Goni, in 2020, which caused immense destruction and powerful reminders of the growing danger that the climate changes poses. The Philippines is dealing with the effects of severe heat waves in addition to strengthening of typhoon activities. Communities are at risk of dangerous high temperatures and an increase in the risk of heat-related illness due to continually rising heat index peaking at 48 degrees Celsius, which is measure of how hot it feels when relative humidity is taken into account along with the actual air temperature. Coastal communities around the Philippines are increasingly concerned about rapidly rising sea levels. Rising sea levels are encroaching on homes, farms, infrastructure, and Tubigon, Bohol, causing disastrous coastal flooding for the locals. In addition to threatening the lives and livelihoods, these floods incidents make communities that are already finding it difficult to adapt to the effects of climate change even more vulnerable. Intense heat waves, increasing sea levels, and typhoon activity all coexist at pressing concerns that highlights the urgent need to swift action to slow down climate change and strengthen the resilience of the Philippines' most vulnerable communities.
With an alarming consistency, typhoons, nature's most powerful storms, wreak havoc throughout the Philippines. Fueled by warm ocean waters, these strong cyclones unleashed destruction upon landfall and left a path of devastation in their wake. In November 2013, the Philippines was hit by Typhoon Haiyan, which was one of the strongest storms ever recorded, with storm surges as high as 20 feet and winds surpassing 195 miles per hour. Haiyan devastated the 4 islands, killing thousands of people and uprooting millions of people. In November 2020, Typhoon Rolly struck the Philippines, making matters worse for towns already struggling with the COVID-19 outbreak. Homes were washed away, infrastructure was destroyed, and livelihoods were upended once more. Typhoons do more than only cause physical harm. It has a devastating effect on people's life, leaving a path of trauma, grief, and hopelessness in its wake. As our viewers, we urge to support the Philippines' efforts to prepare for disasters and adapt to climate change. Your efforts has the potential to improve communities' ability to recover from calamities in the future.
Heatwaves pose a silent but fatal danger to the Philippines, just like typhoons do their destructive power. The Philippines is seeing longer and more frequent bouts of intense heat as global temperature rise. What was once thought to be exceptional is now the new standard. The planet's forming as a result of human activities like the combustion of fossil fuels and deforestation is the main cause of these heat waves. Temperatures surge and our climate researchers previously unheard of extreme as a result of greenhouse gases trapping heat in the atmosphere. However, heat waves have much more negative effect than just discomfort. They provide major health hazards including as the aggravation of pre-existing medical illness, heat stroke, and dehydration. People who are already vulnerable, such as elderly, kids, and outside laborers, are especially vulnerable. Heat waves can exacerbate existing health problems in the healthcare system, disease air quality, and accelerate the spread of infection diseases. As the temperature rises, we must act now to save our communities and ourselves from devastation that heat waves may cause. We can work together to make the Philippines' future greener and more sustainable.
For this act, we will discuss adaptation strategies being implemented to cope with the impacts of climate change in the Philippines. Highlight community-based initiatives such as early warning systems, evacuation plans, and resilient infrastructure development. Showcase efforts to promote climate-resilient agriculture, sustainable urban planning, and renewable energy adoption. Communities throughout the Philippines are rising to the challenge of climate change by putting adaptation methods into place to increase resilience and protect against its effects. Creating early warning systems, which offer timely alerts and information to assist communities in getting ready for and responding to catastrophic weather disasters like typhoons and floods, is one such project. Moreover, developing resilient infrastructure is essential to making communities more robust to climate-related disasters. In addition to reducing the risk of flooding, projects like mangrove restoration, raised housing, and flood barriers also offer vital ecosystem services. In order to adjust to the changing environment, farmers in the agriculture sector are implementing climate-resilient strategies. Agroforestry, drip irrigation, terrace farming, and other practices improve soil health, conserve water, and increase crop resistance to temperature extremes and droughts. Creating green spaces, reducing the impact of the urban heat island effect, and encouraging the use of bike lanes and other active transportation choices are all important components of sustainable urban design, which is another important component of climate adaptation. In addition, switching to renewable energy sources contributes to the future development of more sustainable energy sources and the decrease of greenhouse gas emissions. As we adapt to a changing climate, it's crucial that we continue to innovate, collaborate, and prioritize the well-being of both people and the planet. Together, we can build a more resilient and sustainable future for the Philippines and beyond.
As we conclude our exploration of climate change in the Philippines, it is essential to reflect on the key points discussed and consider the urgent actions needed to addressing the pressing issue. From devastation brought by typhoons to the havoc wreaked by heat waves, the Philippines faces formidable challenges in the wake of a changing climate. But amidst these challenges lies an opportunity for resilience and renewal. Communities across the Philippines are taking proactive steps to adapt to the impacts of climate change, implementing innovative solutions, and building resilience in the face of adversity. Yet, adaptation alone is not enough. To truly address the root causes of climate change, we must take decisive actions to mitigate the impacts and transition to a low-carbon economy. We urge you, our viewers, to join us in a crucial endeavor, advocate for policies that prioritize climate actions, support vulnerable communities, and accelerate the transition to renewable energy. Together, let's work towards a more sustainable and resilient future for the Philippines and, of course, our planet.